for the Shop Report with
Barbershop Jay.
You're muted. You're muted.
I know. Yes. Everybody, welcome to the Shop Report special presentation of the Turnbuckle. Of course, I am your host, Double J, and the guy to my right, your left, is none other than D Gully from the CO Lumbus. Talk to me. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's D Gully here. Pardon me, I was just finishing the last few bites of my meal. It's been a late day here. You know, I work in IT by trade, by day and by night. I get to discuss everything sports related. In this case tonight, we're talking about professional sports. We're talking about professional wrestling. So glad to be with you. You know, we had talked Double J about a few things, you know, what we wanted to discuss tonight. I'm kind of excited about it. I got my thoughts on it. So I just want to get right into it, man. But how are you, though? How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful, man. Let's do this thing. There's a lot to break down and to tap into in all things within the squared circle. And so right away, the first of which is a change that is on the horizon.
All right.
Here we go. A formally announced, of course, this is a long time coming, but Raw, of course, is coming to Netflix. And that is official January 6th. But there's one nugget of information here that I want to see if you notice.
I'm looking. I don't see the WWE Universal Champion anywhere in this graphic. I don't see the World Heavyweight Champion. No, I do see the World Heavyweight Champion on this graphic.
Okay.
I don't see the WWE Universal Champion on this graphic. I see CM Punk.
Uh-huh.
I don't see Roman Reigns.
Okay.
I don't see Brock Lesnar. I don't see Paul Heyman. I don't see. Well, I do see Seth Rollins. I don't see the Tribal Chief or the New Bloodline. Do I see the Women's Champion? Yes.
Well,
I see one of them.
there.
Yeah, I see one of them. So I'm missing some key people. I'm missing not people. I'm missing some key superstars in this banner advertisement for Raw. What say you, Double J?
Well, as they say, Gully, you know, again, being what I do by trade, the devil is in the details.
Right.
And as you see there, just to the right of the year, why don't you read that for me?
Coming January 6th, 2025.
North, look up.
2025, TV-14.
Bingo. What is there any tie-in to that comes to mind for you?
No, I don't. You gotta walk me through this. You see something that I'm not seeing. So
You're absolutely right. The last time that we saw TV-14, we were about 14-ish. It was the Attitude Era.
Gotcha.
We're officially moving. So we theorized that could be the case.
Okay.
And we had a number of hints, whether it was The Rock dropping kind of select verbiage, throughout the last year and a half or so. And then, a little bit more blood at some of the PLEs.
Right.
And now we get the formal title that comes with it. We are beyond the PG era, which again goes back to Linda McMahon's run.
All right. So keep talking. As you're talking, I'm gonna be looking up something as it relates to TV-14. Because I got some questions, but go ahead. But so I'm tuning in to you. I'm listening to you, but I'm looking for something.
Absolutely. And so in addition to that, what we do know that's been confirmed is that where they will be going, which is here. And again, this is a real graphic, folks. You can use that QR code to actually purchase tickets. So free plug to our overlords. And so they will be in LA at the new venue. Gibby, talk to me. But yeah, hey. That's awesome. Hey, man, you're going to have to let us know. We missed you on Saturday, too. Hopefully, man, you should have seen Austin's lineup, by the way.
Yeah.
Just for the record, there were some. It had Doc in awe. And you missed Doc, of all the things.
Right.
So, nevertheless, hey, believe me, it's all good. We understand on this side over here too. It's even Barbershop Jay misses it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
Hey, you see that? He said Chubba was the better play.
But how much?
Well, it was like 4 points, but still, it was the better play.
Yeah, it was the better play. I could concede that. Now, what you did tell me that it was closer than I thought because of the receiving yards that Connor had.
Bingo. That and the touchdown is what bailed that out.
Correct. So, Gibby, how about that? Marginally better. But I mean, hey, a win is a win. So, who am I to judge? Like I said, we stand on accountability. If we hit, we hit. If we miss, we miss.
And as long as this Houston kicker does not go off in the second half, I'm maintaining a 20-point lead right now. So I do have that Monday Night Football off in the background behind me.
Gotcha. So listen.
And Chase Brown. Yes.
All right. So
that's how you know he's been riding with us from the start with this thing. But
yes. Right.
All right, so you looked up the TV-14 thing. This stuff, Raw is that first Raw for Netflix is coming in LA. They have Travis Scott, who Triple H, of course, gifted a hardcore championship.
So look,
Tyrone Tracy, absolutely. Oh my
so
gosh,
according to PBS, Montana PBS, this is where I get it from because being as a search engine and Google is much better. And I don't want to hear from AI at this time. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear from AI. Watson, you're okay. What was his name on 2001 Space Odyssey? I'm sorry. I cannot do this. I don't want to hear from him at this time. Not Vicky from iRobot, not the Oracle, not Agent Smith. None of you guys. Don't want to hear from you guys. Just give me the text that somebody wrote. Okay, anyway. TV-14, parents strongly cautioned. This program contains material that many parents would find unsuitable for children under 14 years of age. Parents are strongly urged to exercise greater care in monitoring this program and are cautioned against letting children under the age of 14 watch unattended. This program contains one or more of the following: intense violence, intense sexual situations, strong, coarse language, or intensely suggestive dialogue. That is what TV-14.
That sounds like a big step up, though.
It does. It does. I didn't think that TV-14 was this liberal.
Bro, you made it. That's right there. To your point, made it sound like going from PG to X.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, X. All right. So look, because I actually looked at it, right? So X. So if we talk about TVMA, which is what you get for TVs, you don't have the rated R system or whatever.
Yeah.
TVMA contains one or more of the following: graphic violence, explicit sexual activity, or crude, indecent language. So strong, coarse language, TV-14, TVMA, crude, indecent language. Intense violence, TV-14, graphic violence, TVMA. Intense sexual situations, TV-14, explicit sexual activity, TVMA. So we probably won't get an F-bomb, but we'll get a whole lot of language similar to what you might see on The Walking Dead.
I don't know, man. I think we'll get the F-bombs. I think we can even get a slip or two. It's just in the context, because if it happened like Nikki Bella, or no, I wish, no, never mind. That was great. Never mind. And then potentially it is what it is. Live with it. Deal with it. Givey, that's because you weren't on Saturday. You should have walked it through with us, man. There was a lot going on over the weekend too. I wish you would have tapped in. I told you I almost blew it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but hold on, real quick, before we dive deeper into pro wrestling. I know that's what many of our fans are here for. I just like to say that yes, if Houston continues to do what they're doing, I know you don't need the kicker to go off, but if Houston continues to do what they're doing, I will have won week 11 in our pick'em. What that means is I will have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 11 weeks of the pick'em.
Hey, absolutely. Oh no, not under 100. Hey, you know what? I don't even want to make you mad. Doc could attest this because I sent it to him.
Yep.
I put up 250 in the league.
Whoa.
I know. He used some explicit language that I can't repeat because we're not TV-14 on what I did to this individual. Yes, you did. And I benched Jackson Smith and Jigba, but I did start Juwan Jennings.
Wait. Hold on. Wait a minute. He said we beat the Niners. Hold on.
Seattle.
No. I just need to see. And I actually, I picked San Francisco. Our number 2. Our second place. Second place this week. Second place overall. He was the one. One person in our pick'em league that picked Seattle.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, you know what? Those bye weeks, dude. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Look at that. Gibby dropping some knowledge right now. It's been years. Dude, I didn't realize it had been that long. Because it always feels like those games are close. But so now we do know for sure we're moving into this era. They tap in Travis Scott to do the new intro music for it.
Right.
That'll be interesting. And then, of course, now.
So what do you think the era, do you think this era is defined by a name? Ruthless Aggression was a promo that Vince cut so with the intent on describing the era that was to come, right? I want Ruthless Aggression. So that the era came to be known by that. The Attitude Era, I think that name sort of organically came about, but there was a given choice, the no good guys versus bad guys, shades of gray, Attitude Era. All right. And we named the PG era because it was just an about face or a 180-degree turn from the ruthless aggression, which is actually a bit, maybe a bit tamer than the Attitude Era. But yeah, maybe it might have been a bit tamer in some respects, but not all. Point is, will you call it? Will we call it the Netflix era? Will we call it the TV-14 era? What do you think the naming would it be, or how would it come about? Is it going to be is it going to be like is it going to be a promo that Cody Rhodes cuts that will define the era? If you're out there in the land, and you're out there in the shop right now, let us know. What do you think?
And that's the thing. Like, currently, it is being branded as the Netflix era.
Okay, Netflix era. All right.
But
so the Netflix era hasn't started yet. So that could, the Netflix era does, I think, imply that it's going to be a bit more edgy. It'll return to being edgy. But for the purpose of World Wrestling Entertainment, sports entertainment, professional wrestling, I don't know how healthy it is long term for it to lean into an explicit, almost adult oriented enterprise.
It has the autonomy to do so. That's the thing. It technically can be explicit and suggestive, and in theory, again, show. It's just it can't be accompanied by certain actions.
Like,
well, I don't know if I want to describe that.
Yeah, you got to. We got to be able to use words.
Like, basically, if you think of the actual Attitude Era, where was it Sable stripped at one point?
Okay,
that's allowed based on that definition, based on the print.
Oh, so we talking about Showtime After Dark?
Literally.
Okay.
But that's the thing. It can't even be, quote unquote, softcore, if I'm saying that right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it stops. So no Val Venus.
Okay.
But the Jenna Jameson promos that were cut could absolutely fly.
Oh, okay. And then the camera will stop just before that action gets started.
Correct.
All right. What do you think about that? Do you think that that will continue to drive viewership?
Are you really ready to go down that road?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look what the Discord has been full of for the last 48 hours.
Okay.
And there's why, right? Because it literally all somehow ties into Tyson and Jake Paul.
Okay.
Because of a 70 million household audience pool that is by our host's definition, the gullible group, that was willing to tune into it. Okay, now there was no nudity or anything like that, but I guess there kind of was, Mike.
Oh yeah.
My thing stopped buffering, and then
Yo, wait a minute. So wait a minute, that image showed up, and
I got a 75-inch TV in my living room, and this thing is sitting there, and then it stopped square on his cheeks.
Yo, Mike Tyson showing his oh man, we talk about Prince's chaps, boy. Yo, that's what y'all got, man. Mike Tyson showed his on Saturday, bro.
Literally.
Yo, how does it go? How does it go? Cable guy, right?
You're right. Right.
Oh man.
So, nevertheless, I don't even know. Basically, yes, they could get away with quite a bit now. Mike Tyson already kind of proved to us and to the world what is allowable on that network. And so, with that being said, unfortunately, here comes some hard truths of what was once in the past. CM Punk posted these documents here. This is for WrestleMania 30. Are you able to blow that up and see it?
Yeah. Let me zoom in on that. CM Punk posted this. Mm-hmm. This was what was supposed to happen.
Right.
Now, wait a minute. WrestleMania 30, this was a year after he left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, WrestleMania 30, 2014, right. Batista vs. Randy Orton, World Heavyweight Champion match. CM Punk vs. Triple H. Undertaker vs. Brock. John Cena vs. Bray Wyatt. Daniel Bryan vs. Sheamus. Big Show vs. Kane. Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose United States Championship match. What, cryptically, what is he suggesting?
What could have been?
Now, is that the way the card would have run?
Yes.
Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose first?
So the actual
he'd have been closer to the main event. Yeah, right. So the bottom, it looks like it to me, it will read bottom up.
Correct.
Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose kick off WrestleMania. Big Show, Kane follow. Daniel Bryan, Sheamus. Now, wait a minute. Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus. Did we end up seeing that? And that was the World Heavyweight Championship match. That's where Daniel Bryan got bro kicked and Sheamus won it in 6 seconds. Was that the match?
So one of them. So this is the one where Hogan calls the Superdome the Silver Dome.
Okay. Brock Lesnar, Undertaker.
Yeah, so in the first match, Daniel Bryan faced Triple H.
Wait a minute.
The winner,
of this card?
Yep. So the real card ends up having Daniel Bryan against Triple H. So there's your CM Punk tie-in.
Okay.
Because the winner of that match would get slotted into the heavyweight title match. And that's how they were able to accommodate both.
Okay. All right. So, but why what is CM Punk suggesting here? Like, all right, first of all, I don't believe this is him acting out. Second of all, he was at home when he did this because I know that print on a pseudo marble table because I have a table like that at home.
Mm-hmm.
So he was at home pondering over this, and he posted this. This isn't, like I said, I don't think this is him acting out. This isn't a sign of, the CM Punk of old returning, the temperamental, hard to work with. I don't think this is that guy. I think maybe this is the closest he would have gotten to a main event. He's one away from the main event spot. That's just where he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
What will it take for CM Punk to get himself back in the main event? He's free actually now to start that feud with Cody Rhodes. He can be a heel. And he can be a gray matter heel and still work that and then get into that main event spot. Main event night 1, main event night 2, doesn't matter. It can still be that main event. I think we all know though, main event night 2 is the actual main event. But he can get there.
Well, that's just it, because here's the thing. The Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus match doesn't occur what ends up happening is CM Punk was slotted to end up winning this thing.
Was slotted to end up winning what?
The WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Hold on.
This is literally the Stone Cold thing all over again. This is if you
hold on
put
before
CM
you
Punk
take me
in
there.
this
Before you
match.
take me there, hold on. Before you take me there, I get what you're saying. I think I understand what you're saying. Before you take me there to this is the Stone Cold thing all over again. Right now, has this reads CM Punk just have a match with Triple H?
Right, but the winner goes to that match above.
But it would have been immediately after. And I don't think it plays out that way.
Well,
remember what you
here's
said.
the thing. Here's where
remember
the
what
stuff
you said.
Right. No, I get what you're
said.
saying.
Daniel Bryan ends up fighting Sheamus earlier in the card and then
Correct.
somehow makes his way back into the main event.
That ended up being the first match. See, that's the thing. They moved this card around with Triple H going against Daniel Bryan first. The winner gets slotted against Batista and Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's how they end up playing it. Right. All right, I got that. Because because CM Punk had on, and I see 6 weeks. CM Punk left in January of that year.
That's right. I was at his last show.
Yeah, so this is how they scrambled to adjust after CM Punk had left in January of that year.
But wasn't this because Paul Heyman was advocating for him and he wasn't going to be a champion? And this is where the interesting tie-in, right? This is where it's not quite as simple as I was putting the Stone Cold thing. Similar to what you just said as well. It gets a little bit more complicated because if he already had this paper in his hand, he already knew he wasn't going to be a champion, which kind of debunks my theory.
Right. And very likely Triple H was booked. Wait a minute. No. Yeah, Triple H was booked, I think, to go over.
I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah, Triple H was booked to go over because it was Levi Stadium. So that would have been the following year that Triple H faced Sting in 2015 and went over on Sting.
Yep, this one was Superdome, New Orleans.
Did Triple H end up facing? You said if Triple H faced Daniel Bryan on this card?
Correct. This one he came out with the armor.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. What is his motivations behind posting this? Well, I'm thinking beating Drew McIntyre in the what they call it, the rubber match of their feud, getting the win over him there. His injury since. Hey, have we seen him in a match since then?
CM Punk?
Yes, unless it's a house show. Outside of house shows. Well, actually, no, including house shows. He might have been on a house show. Have we seen him in a match since that? Since was it called Berlin, right?
Yeah, no.
And that's been we're in November now. That was August.
Yep.
September, October, November. We haven't seen him in 3 months.
Is that him dropping a hint that he wants to headline this thing? Or like he wants to have a Mania match, or he's going to have a Mania match? I don't there's quite a bit to try to read his mind a little bit. And if you guys know better in the comments, as always, by all means, we are of the people, not above the people. Chime in, let us know what you're thinking. I know we're live on Twitch right now. We got folks watching there, as well as YouTube, the Meta platforms, as well as X. and definitely want to get your thoughts on what you think Mr. Punk was thinking. I was trying to do a little
because it's hard for me to tell. It's hard for me to tell what is he indicating here. But what I'm suggesting is he's available now. He's available now for that Cody Rhodes main event because The Rock has got business with Roman that can also happen. I don't care if Rock and Roman are night 1 or night 2. There's now been enough proper space made for Roman and The Rock to have their main event Mania match and then CM Punk to have his Mania moment. Going over on Cody or actually doing the job to Cody. I think going over on Cody would be the greatest.
Wow. And with that, we will take our first break of the evening and then dive into some other things, including potentially a funeral.
It's Kay Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report. I'm Homie Diallo, and you watching the Shop Report. My name's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report. Oh, you're Jay Knight, you're watching the Shop Report. It's Braxton Key, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Hi, I'm Mars Man, works at Mercury Stadium, and you're watching the Shock Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doug Flynn of the New York Mets. Well, a few other teams, of course, too. And you're watching the Shop Report.
I'm Matt Ramos, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? I'm Rajay Davis, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? This is Nelson Figueroa, former Major League pitcher with a lot of teams. You're about to listen to the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Howard Johnson. You're watching the Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Heath Bell from the New York Mets, and you're listening to the Shop Report podcast. Yeah!
Hey, I'm Josh Tolley, former catcher of the New York Mets, and you're watching the Shop Report.
This is Edgardo Alfonso for the Mets, and you're listening to Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Hello, this is Mike Hampton, and you're watching Shop Report.
All right, just like that, we are back and better than ever. And so, diving into our next topic. Golly, what we have here, of course, another leaked image of Randy Orton, who, of course, took that terrible shot from Kevin Owens. It was out for a while, displaying his new Lambo to none other than Kevin Owens.
I hate seeing this, man, because professional wrestling presents itself as if these guys are really mired in a beef. Okay. And when you're promoting a movie that's going to happen, like, for example, how many times during the promo run of the Avengers Endgame did Josh Brolin appear with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and Anthony Mackie? He didn't. Not very much, very seldomly. So I remember when we did this a few weeks ago, when we saw the image of CM Punk and Drew McIntyre next to each other while they were at like what turned out to be a rehearsal for the upcoming pay-per-view. And we talked about it all in the comments. We got our fans, guys who really have an opinion on it, talking about, hey, who's going to tell them? It's fake, right? Like, no, we get it. We know it is. However, understanding context is everything. The context of professional wrestling is what you see on the screen is taken to be believed at face value. Yes, it's entertainment. Yes, I've even said it. I've even said it myself. It's a series of trust falls. And while the action is predetermined, however, there's a great deal of physicality that happens to it, that happens between the wrestlers and between, the environment. And the storytelling is such that it's like watching a play. When you go to watch a play, any theater, you do not see the actors engage with each other before or during the course of the play. So while this program is being played out in front of our eyes on Raw and on SmackDown and in the pay-per-views, we're not supposed to have any indication that Randy Orton's neck ain't actually broke and that he actually does, in fact, get along very well with Kevin Owens. We're not supposed to see this, at least during the time that we're being told the exact opposite is happening. This is why this annoys me, and I think the people who do this, they don't really, I think they have, it's a troll job for sure, because they know it gets under the skin of those who appreciate the art form, who appreciate the craft. So this is why this image is kind of drawing hurtful, because it does undermine what you're about to see on Raw next week or on SmackDown. Johnny Alton, Paul versus Mike. Yeah. So
hey man, we're heading that way.
Right. So this is why it's bothersome to see the image, because somebody only did it for the intention of getting under the skin or undermining the art form.
Well, now you mentioned getting under the skin. Okay.
Yes.
I meant to bring this up last week, but it happened like literally the night of, while we were live.
Yes.
And so I'm saying this, I'm treading lightly here with these. All right. I'll let you guys in the comment section do what you'd like. We have our Tell Me You Did Not Just Say That segment, and it comes from King Ricochet.
Yes.
All right. There's some expletives in here. We are TV-14, apparently. So I'm just reading the quote, and I will do my best to overlook the other part. You guys can fill in the blanks. It's really funny to me how a lot of people used to love me under the tutelage of WWE, but the moment I jumped ship to another company, they turned their backs on me. Like, why? I don't get it. Still the same bleeping person I was in and outside of the WWE. Who the F are you? Like, God forbid I want to expand my horizons, try other things. Yeah, I shouldn't care about others' opinions, but like this bleep tilts me in a way that I can't describe. It's like some Joker BS. I used to wrestle independent. I used to wrestle, to be honest, independent scene before I signed a blood deal with Vince. I was universally beloved before and after I signed. So what changed? AEW? You can say AEW was a stain on the industry all you want, but this is the company that has actually accepted me as I am, professional wrestler, and the best at that. This app is so filled with the most brain-rotted dumb A's. WWE shills, I guess that's also us. Thanks. That I'm seriously considering leaving this FS app. Like, the toxicity can't be good for any of you, especially to those who constantly harass my wife. Come on, guys. You used to effing simp for this woman on a regular basis, but now that she wants to go do her own thing, she's this big evil woman, and the most evil of men constantly sexualize her here and on Instagram. She thirst traps. Oof. And he said, F off, you fall for them. So anyways, for the cretins who randomly started opposing me, hell, even the people that supported me all throughout, no matter what, go F yourselves. I don't trust any of you. I guess that also implies us. Gully, bro, take it away, bro.
Yo, Ricochet, what did we do, bro?
We caught so many strays in that. Like,
what did we do? Oh no, you gotta leave this one
I took
up.
more shots than Tupac in this.
Leave this one up. So, anyways, for the cretins who randomly started opposing me, hell, even the people that supported me throughout, no matter what, Yo, so even us, he telling all of us, go fuck yourselves. I don't trust any of you. Where did we now see? Now I got an issue, Ricochet. You telling me to F off on count of you being overburdened with people who don't like you because you switched up. Bro.
Now, wait a minute. Barbershop Jay does this.
Does what? Tell people to go F themselves even if they rock with him?
You know, he might do that too. Just
tell me when he did that. Tell me when. I know he did.
I would say off air.
Yeah. I know he took a few PPO days. All right. But he ain't never out and out said, yo, I know you rock. For all of our fans out there that rock with us, go F yourselves. I don't trust any of you. Like I don't think he went Metro Boom in the future on us, man.
No.
Ricochet's having a bad moment. He must have really gotten some I would imagine if it's him, and I can't doubt his experience or his interpretation of his experience. He got a lot of hate mail. On his side, when it comes to misunderstanding why the jump to AEW caused fans to turn on him. Like, it implies that he feels that he's been on the receiving end of some like cult type allegiance to WWE, that in switching to AEW and going elsewhere that he wasn't expecting.
Right. Rotten Wash says, okay, I got to listen to the whole thing before commenting again. Thanks, Ricochet.
Listen,
look, man, I think everybody had a reality check with that.
Yeah, right. It's throwing a lot of people off because, like, he just said everybody just like, yo, it's just me against the world. He went like you brought up Tupac. He went Tupac. Like, when did we stop? Now, could it be that the lack of support for him going to AEW is the fact that viewership is low, and perhaps even those who watched him on AEW or WWE, they just simply don't watch AEW. So he lost fans that want him to do well, but they just really don't care about AEW. So they don't make time for AEW on Wednesdays because just not what they do. You get what I'm saying? It's like, for example, on our Showtime, right? Based off of our schedule and our lives while we're building this platform, Saturdays was our day. Wednesdays is now our day. So those who rocked with us on Saturday, it aligned very well with what they were doing. Now they support the show, but Wednesday is not a day that they can rock with us. Because maybe Wednesday is bowling league, maybe Wednesday is Boy Scouts, maybe Wednesday is I've got to count the ceiling tiles or whatever. I've got to, wash my shoelaces day. So they're just not going to give us time on the shop report. All right, we'll take that as, okay, we get you. So perhaps there may be a heavier volume of people who simply don't make time for AEW, but still support Ricochet. So they wish him well, but he's not seeing that because when he jumps ship, he don't get the viewership. And perhaps, maybe, and I don't know, because I don't know contracts, I don't know how it's leveraged. Maybe it could be possible. Maybe he leveraged his position on AEW, saying, "Hey, I can bring these numbers to you because I can see. Look at my following on WWE. Look at what this look at what this Speed Championship did for my numbers individually, and me as a person, has a talent. If I move over to you, I could bring this along, and we just happen to not follow. And so you might be feeling some of that because maybe he made a statement or sold himself to AEW on what he could bring in terms of viewership, in terms of numbers for his program that just didn't follow. I don't know. And I'm just
I'm going off of a few different things. So again, he pointed out he already was a household name before he got to WWE. What he additionally points to that needed to be elaborated on was the quote unquote blood deal with Vince.
Yeah, go back to that slide.
That? So let's see. So again, I used to wrestle, to be honest, independent scene before I signed a blood deal with Vince. But again, he was, as he says, I was universally beloved before and after I signed. So what changed? AEW. So basically he's saying the people changed up on him, but there was also, you got to remember, a little bit more to that. The timing of all of this was not only when he left, but then also when Samantha left, which was very abrupt. But
it was only a matter of time. Like, listen.
Remember, they were blaming him. They blamed him first. And then, because I didn't, I said, could she go there? Sure. But why would it make sense? Not necessarily. And it was revealed really quickly that she was going off to do her own music thing and that WWE didn't support her either advancement within the company itself.
Right.
Or, again, and then of course, people turned on her too. So he started catching strays, and then he wasn't doing himself any favors with these particular takes. So there's a lot of frustration there. I don't think it has much to do with AEW outside of the fact that maybe people are now using that as a means to take cheap shots at him. But we've already talked about the vast discrepancies between the two companies and how they operate, right? One is less bumps, more exotic pay-per-views, and the other is more wrestling and, less talk.
Which one is more wrestling and less talk?
I want to give the nod to AEW. I'm not necessarily saying they're doing that better.
Mm-hmm.
But
hey, we got a fan of the show. You may know his name. Paul from Akron.
Oh,
ask him what he feels like about how he feels about syringes.
Oh.
More wrestling, less acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show me the syringe match that Cody Rhodes had in WWE.
Okay, but don't get me started with him. All
right, show me the syringe match.
How many matches? Hang on, we're about to break down Raw in as soon as we get through this and one other thing.
Yeah.
But okay, in a 2-hour show, show me how many matches we had. Talk about syringes. We ain't got time for that. Somebody would have nodded off from the show.
Okay. Fair. Fair. That is fair. That is fair. But we do see a lot more of the dramatization, right? Than we do wrestling. But we don't see syringes, though. We don't see those. But Ricochet, like, man, I don't, you know what? I do empathize with him because what it does reveal is that he's getting a lot of flack for wanting to be outside of the box that his fans perhaps put him in. The same goes for her. She says, hey, I thought I was an in-ring talent. I wanted to be an in-ring talent. I had this special out-of-ring talent, but I want this to be in complement to what I actually can do. And WWE had no interest in that. So she left so she moved on where she can be more creative, have more creative control, and to be able to express herself more, which is what anybody who works a 9 to 5 or 10 to 6 would like to do. So fans of sports entertainment, fans of WWE, non-fans of AEW, at a real point, appreciate the ability to express yourself in the way that you want. This is what Ricochet did. This is what Ricochet is attempting to do. This is what Samantha Irvin is attempting to do. So why do we have such a problem with that? Oh, because it ain't us. Because we need Ricochet to be where we need him to be on Monday and Thursday and Friday and wherever else. He can't be nowhere else. We need Samantha Irvin to be calling those matches and announcing Brock Lesnar coming to ringside before Paul Heyman takes the mic from him. We need that. We don't have room for you to be anywhere else. I guess that's a statement that Ricochet, I think, identifies with. That's what he feels like the fans or fans of the WWE universe wants from him. They want him to be in the predictable place, doing the things that he can unpredictably do, but on their time schedule. And it don't work that way. Life don't work that way. So I see his frustration where it's like, man, hey, I did something that's better for me, where you can see more of me and what I like to do, because who I was and what I like to do was the reason why you gravitated towards me in the beginning. So why the brand name, I don't switch up because the brand name, I switch up to go and continue to be more of who you like. And you don't respect that? Like, all right, I got you. That's pretty much, I think, what he's saying. But I mean, the people who like us, why we gotta, yeah, that's a darn shame, man.
Yeah, hey, look, it is what it is. I understand. He's, again, you've gotten different takes even from those that have been a part of the profession themselves about kind of don't respond type of thing. And so, unfortunately, this is just one of those cases where, that's why I had initially the app, but you could tell a lot of the frustration is surrounded around those few things, because he does go back to Samantha. He does talk about a particular app that will not be named for our sake, because there's a lot of people listening there. And so
is it X?
Bro,
I don't care. I'm not beholden to. Is it X?
Maybe.
All right. Be afraid of. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. Is it X?
That's why your audio got choppy.
Is it X?
That was a warning.
Is it Black Planet? Is it Yahoo? It's the Messenger. Is it AOL? It's the Messenger. Is it Netscape Navigator? All right.
I still have a Netscape, for the record.
Okay, yeah, right. Whatever it is it Net Zero? Okay, I don't care. I don't care what app it is. Do it look like I care? Do it look like I care? See, I don't care. Quote.
Cleaning the cracks on your pavement surfaces can take hours and be torturous on your body. Until now. Bicracky Weed Removal Tool was designed specifically to clean pavement cracks in a fraction of the time, all while standing up. Bicracky's patented design incorporates a two-sided steel blade and is encased by a durable fiberglass shell. Simply use the large end to clean big gaps, then rotate and use the small tip for narrow gaps. Made in the USA, Bicracky eliminates weeds to the root and is environmentally friendly. Bicracky, save your back while you clean your crack.
What it do, sports fans? It's your man BSJ from the Shop Report. And guess what? The shop is now open for business, baby. If you're on Facebook, go to our fan page, The Shop Report. Click on More, and then Shop to view all products. Or if you're on Instagram, click on the Shop tab to see all our products. I mean, what you want me to do? I'm selling merch here.
All right, just like that, we are back. And Gully wanted to point this out to you. Here we go. So this happens to take place in your neck of the woods, and so I'm going to read this. So for immediate release from AEW, GalaxyCon Columbus to host live AEW Collision on December 7th, so just around the corner. Tickets on sale, of course. That was just a few days ago when we were live. And so November 14th, for the first time in history, AEW Collision will be held in partnership with GalaxyCon Columbus on Saturday, December 7th at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. Tickets for AEW Collision at GalaxyCon Columbus will go on sale, obviously, November 16th. As part of this new partnership, AEW Collision has moved from the originally scheduled location of Nationwide Arena. All fans that purchase tickets for AEW Collision at Nationwide Arena will be automatically refunded. Talk to me, D. Gully. We've gone through the numbers between NXT and AEW ad nauseum. This just so happens to be happening right in your backyard, albeit that you're not there, but
right. You know what I mean? You wait for the FedEx package all day. You wait for FedEx package all day. 7 o'clock. I mean, I gotta go to the store. What happens? 7:15 FedEx. Hey, I need a signature. Can't deliver because I'm gone. This is, this might be what happens to me because I might not be able to attend due to other engagements. Hopefully things align in my schedule and I could. But what it does indicate is that there is a significant plateau in the interest of AEW because what they've done is relocated and uprooted their static dedicated audience that was just going to go to Nationwide Arena to watch AEW for the chance to get new business, right? It's prospecting. They already had Nationwide Arena. Everybody who knew of AEW know they were going to go to Nationwide Arena. But those who are at GalaxyCon, they ain't familiar with AEW largely. So this is a new live event. Oh, and look who we got with us.
Yeah, we got
the man, the myth, the legend. He's muted right now. Can you unmute him?
I sure can. Oh no, he has chosen to mute himself.
He's chosen to mute himself. Oh, he says shh. All right. Well, wait a minute. Let's see if he comes back, if he's ready. But what it does indicate is that AEW is attempting to reach unfamiliar people with a live event so as to try to encourage, they're advertising. It's marketing. They're trying to get more people. They're prospecting, pretty much. It's actively prospecting by showcasing your product. But
you don't view this as, hey, we were struggling to sell tickets at Nationwide Arena because we have been overbooking our
See,
venues.
I talk too much because that's exactly what I'm saying. But you said it quite simply. I'm handling AEW with kid gloves because I think it's an organization run by a person who's genuinely enthusiastic about pro sports and sports entertainment, but is reaching yet another instance where he may not understand the business, so he's suffering. So the business is suffering because it's not because of mismanagement, like the apathetic mismanagement that AOL Time Warner did with the latter days of WCW. It's I'm not really certain about how to run this business. So I'm trying anything, and now I'm stagnant. Now I've built something up. I've had Chris Jericho's help. I've had Cody Rhodes' help. I've had help of others, and I don't quite know the next things to do, the building blocks to make it a more viable enterprise. So it's suffering right now. It's languishing. It's plateauing. I've got to find anything to generate new interest. So I'm going to move the people who know about us to the people we don't know about us. And hopefully the people who know about us are just come on over and not feel disrespected or slighted. Good luck with that.
Absolutely. And again, we'll get Paul's take on this at any point. But I think, yes, it's a brilliant move, and it shows the marketing mind of Tony Khan on how to save face. Like, look, okay, hey, we booked the wrong venues. We're still growing ourselves, and how do we tap into newer audiences? I mentioned WWE vacating a lot of these spots with the circus not coming to town anymore is going to create a pathway for success for AEW. But yes, the product has to continue to grow with it, and that will lead to less Ricochet rants, hopefully.
Indeed.
Fellas, it's nice to be back.
It's Paul from Akron, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Yo, what is up, my guy?
Well, I just want to chip in. I don't have the driver tonight. I don't have the putter, but I can chip in here. Just pertaining to Tony, he's doing a thing that quite literally no one has ever done before. Because it's never been possible to do it before. There's an established thing that's really big. We're going to call this WWE. And he's going to try to do the same show, even though he's not a person that has a ton of those people. He's just going to get them. So he got them, and he continues to get them. And Tony, if I'm not mistaken, is 39-ish, 42-ish. My boy has got 4 decades to turn this thing into what he wants. And I promise you, by AEW All Out 2036 Mars,
right.
we are all going to be eating our words because Hulk Hogan, the 15th clone, is going to come out and stab someone in the mouth with a syringe to prove he's the best wrestler. Yes, I'm still about this. I'm still furious. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going on mute.
I told you, man, he is not a fan of them syringes, bro.
No, I guess not.
Him and Cornette are not a fan of those syringes at all. ATALL at all, my guy. Oh, well, listen, Paul, I know you're on mute, but I'm going to ask this question of you and to the whole audience. Do you think that Tony Khan is going to stay in the race long enough to establish himself? Can we get to 2030 with AEW? Does AEW last that long? And if it does, how does it? And if it won't, what can help?
And takes 3/4 of the money.
Hold on, you cut out. Say it again.
How long would
Hold on, you cutting out real bad. You cutting out real bad, Paul. Hold on, you cutting out real bad, bro.
Tony let's try.
Hold on, you cut out real bad.
Tony will do this forever.
Tony will do this forever. Yo, it worked out. It worked out. Tony will do this forever.
Fantastic. And so, but will we, as it goes, as we transition to tonight's Raw, again, there's a theoretical here, of course, of get Paul back in, and then possibly on our docket is the Netflix loading, of course, for our first Raw. And kicking tonight's Raw off was none other than what we would learn to be a bigger piece of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So what we had is Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae getting into a brawl with Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley, with the baby faces standing tall. This will, of course, ultimately be a women's war game match. Something I do want to point out. There is, I believe this now would include multiple champions, the Money in the Bank winner.
It's the woman's. It's It is the most relevant women's talent outside of Rhea Ripley.
Well, she's in it too.
Oh, she's in it too. Yeah, it's all the women's talent.
So I would theoretically say maybe you see a title exchange chance.
How, during this War Games match?
Yeah, I mean, in theory, technically, Tiffany Stratton can cash in at any time.
That would be interesting for her to do that. Yeah, that would be. Hey, that would be actually pretty wild. Cheap as all hell, but it'll be pretty wild.
I didn't know if you've seen that at all. I didn't know. I thought you'd appreciate that.
Oh, I did.
It would have only been better if it would have then had a second screen of Iron Mike's.
No. We are not TV-14. No, I don't. You'll ever bring that up again,
dude? That is burned into my mind. Could you imagine sitting there clicking that thing?
So it got froze. It's like it wasn't. And you know how with like Netflix app it freezes, like you can't even press the back button on your remote because it just doesn't respond.
No, literally, no more of that Mike Tyson. I got to just jump in. No more of that Mike Tyson anything. Okay. No, listen. I can't even manage my optics. I can't manage my device. But listen, no more of that. Okay. I'm going on mute, but I'm here. Okay.
Oh boy.
So moving right along, we then had an additional match of Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega beating Dark Gable and Ivy Nile in a mixed tag team match. Of course, that leads to
who was that?
Gable yelling at Ivy in the Creed brothers after his loss.
Oh, okay.
Anything?
Next.
Yeah. All right. And so
yeah, bro. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, next, man. Just go ahead, man. Just remove this on.
Well, look, I'm merely reporting the news. And so following that, of course, we had a surprise backstage attack by way of Gunther attacking Damian Priest, except while Gunther went to attack him with the lead pipe, Priest kicked him in the Colonel Mustard.
So is this a heel versus heel? This is anti versus anti, right? Or is Damian Priest the face?
No, he's totally a face.
Oh, but he's got the. So he kicked Gunther in the progeny, and the propagating the herd. And this now remember they're battling for the world heavyweight title, right?
Mm-hmm. But my thing is this: Gunther went from strong, untouchable, talk it, and now I'm constantly getting dropped, like pretty much since Crown Jewel. He's really came back down to earth.
Oh,
so I don't know about that acting, but this acting, according to the Miz himself, after he was praising, him and Karrion Kross were praising themselves for tricking the Wyatt 6 last week. Miz says pretending to be scared of the Wyatts was the greatest acting performance yet. And now WWE will have to greenlight the Marine 7, and he's seeking Scorsese or Tarantino to direct
it. Yo, I love the way he talks, man. He just be braggadocious, man. Yeah, he's funny, bro. He's absolutely funny.
Now we
tell you
did.
What, though, go ahead.
Go ahead with this.
No, you got. I think you're about to lead into it, and I'll follow up.
No. I already was seeing the next thing, so we're good.
Well, I like what I see from Bray Wyatt, and I said Bray. It's Bo Dallas.
Oh. Are you really
Okay.
ahead?
Yeah. That's why I say, this. Can't tell me this ain't Bray. Now, here's what I understand. I don't know if we're gonna get in trouble for saying this or not. But
fantastic.
All right. I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. And I remember there was a morning that I got up to go to school. And I was listening to the radio station. I was listening to the urban radio station. So I'm getting up to go to school about 6:30. So between 6 and 7 in the morning, there's a radio station, urban radio station, Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. And at certain points in the commercial break, before the commercial break, they give you the news. I clearly remember Kim Johnson, the radio personality on air, telling me in a report that a professional wrestler known as the Ultimate Warrior had died in a car accident. Call it my Mandela effect.
No, you're not alone in that. Okay, here we go in conspiracy hour. Why did Paul leave when we were going down conspiracy hour?
Okay, so I'm not the only one that I know what I remember because no one had told me the story that he had died before. Like, so you have memories from your childhood they're repressed for whatever reason. Maybe there's nothing else. There's no context by which you need to keep remembering them or for them to recur. So they just kind of like sit in the vault in your mind. I don't remember anything else triggering me, somebody saying, oh, yeah, I had this experience too, where somebody told me that they said the Ultimate Warrior died. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I think so. I remember me saying it first to everyone that I said it to. You follow what I'm saying?
Yep.
So growing up, I remember me saying it first, me volunteering that information first. And then people saying to me, oh, yeah, I heard that too. Even up until adulthood. Why do I bring all of this up about the Ultimate Warrior saying he passed and Jim Hill? Maybe the Jim Hill is the guy, is or was the guy, or whatever else. I say all that to say this. If the Ultimate Warrior had in fact died in a car accident the way that I remember, or that I remember that fact happening, that was well before 1996, well before 95, 94, 93, 92. Follow what I'm saying? In which case, whomever the Warrior became up until Jim Hellwig's demise, that person carried on the character in such a remarkable way that he is timeless. Why do I bring this up? Bray Wyatt is gone. Bo Dallas is here. That is Bray Wyatt. Wendell Rotunda is gone. I forgot Mr. Rotunda's name. I forgot. Is it Taylor? Taylor Rotunda. Wendell Rotunda is gone. Taylor Rotunda is here. This is Bray Wyatt. Whomever Bray Wyatt was or is, and his impact on the hearts and minds of professional wrestling can't be replaced. His impact is undeniable. For Bo Dallas to in fact consume or assume the Bray Wyatt role, if he continues to do this in the way he does it, I'm all here for it. And in fact, I think it would actually be an improvement upon Bray Wyatt, because it does give him the idea of Bray Wyatt being an essence or an entity. Remember the movie The Fallen, where Denzel Washington and John Goodman, where they were chasing this is it called The Fallen, I believe, where they were chasing the serial killer, and in fact what he was doing, he was a spirit, and what happened is when a person dies, he has a certain amount of time before he has to enter a host body, and then he can continue on. If Bo Dallas becomes Bray Wyatt, then we get to see Bo Dallas as Bray Wyatt. What I'm saying is, I want to see Bo Dallas in the ring in meaningful matches, but then his persona that he carries to the ring is this Bray Wyatt, is this Uncle Howdy is this essence of the character. I'm here for it. You follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And but strangely, I actually agree with you. I was really caught off guard when the Ultimate Warrior when I was informed he was still around. Just like,
okay, so I'm not alone in that, right?
No.
All right, cool. That's what I needed to know. Everybody needs to know everyone needs to know either that they're not crazy or that everyone else is.
Just like the Sinbad movie.
Now, that is a bridge too far because I don't
bro. I know what I saw.
You talking about the movie was called Shazam too?
Yes, dude. And I remember saying to myself as a kid, I'm like, are these two movies out almost at the exact same time?
All right, see, I
literally was so confused by the fact that these two movies about the genies, I'm like, did somebody sell off the same script? And keep in mind, I'm a kid, and I'm like, that just doesn't make sense to me that they're both pulling this genie thing. And I'm like, this isn't on the heels of Aladdin or something. Like, you know,
it is on the heels of Aladdin.
I mean, within 3-4 years, kinda.
Well, no, because remember, when did Aladdin 2 come out?
Oh, I forgot about that one. All right. Well, I guess you're right. All right. I'll give you that.
So what I'm saying is Aladdin
remember, this is when Shaq wanted to be everything. You know, before he became everything, like the spokesperson for everything.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything. He had Shaq food.
He had Shaq food.
That game was trash and a half. That game was a trash bag and a half. Can't believe EA went through with that trash bag and a half game. Michael Jordan wasn't better. Chaos in the Windy City wasn't better. It wasn't in a shoebox, if you figure out what the S is. All right. But yeah. So while we segue heavily into the Mandela effect, or is it? Point remains. Bray Wyatt is a persona. Bray Wyatt is a trope that Bo Dallas, I think, is almost fully coming to embrace. Continue this, Bo Dallas. Just follow it up with some great matches. Give me Bo Dallas versus The Miz.
But see, here's the thing. He's got to sell it more in the eyes because he's giving me Post Malone.
Bet. Post Malone, Bray. Post Wyatt Malone. I don't give a. Just bring it to the squared circle and have some great matches. Just follow, because then again, like you said, and we talked about this between AEW and WWE. I'm a fan of professional wrestling. The thing that you do in the matches matters to me because I'm a fan of professional wrestling. I watch episodic TV shows a lot. I watch them a lot more than reality shows. I'm not a big fan of singing competitions. I'm not a big fan of, I'm kind of a fan of America's Got Talent. There are stories to be told, but hey, I like my Law and Orders. Okay. Better Call Saul. Okay. I want to see shows that progress. I get it, but I'm a fan of professional wrestling. I want to see the stories be told between the squared rush, within the squared circle, with a 1, 2, 3, or a ladder for a title or a Money in the Bank. I just want them to bring it home with those guys with great matches. Please give us that. Why isn't the Wyatt Six being talked about at all in War Games?
I thought we were potentially going to get something of that sort.
Well, it's not too late, right? When is War Games? 2 weeks from now?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's probably too late. Like, why? Like, that's to me is the biggest miss. That's where I feel like something's wrong with what they wanted to do with them, because they took way too long, perhaps, to deliver us a Wyatt Six. And because they are who they are, you fully expect that volume of talent in that stable to be represented, if not in one match, but in 2 matches over a mixed multi-superstar tag team venue, such as War Games or Survivor Series or whatever you want to call it. Why aren't they there?
That's the thing. For me, you put Dallas, Rowan, Gacy, Loomis versus Miz, Cross, and again the rest of the faction for War Games.
Gotcha.
Yep. So, in my opinion, that's the avenue that you explore. And speaking of now, something that is certainly going to be brewing here as we move forward, which was Braun Breaker versus Sheamus for the IC title, ends in a DQ after Kaiser attacked them both. So insert triple threat. Discount triple threat. Anything? No?
I told you, when it comes down to being for a title, it's just something about champion versus challenger that I want to see. Unadulterated, unmitigated, discombobulated, not discombobulated. Well, I guess if in that case, combobulated. Mano y mano or womano y womano, okay?
Uh-huh.
That's what I would like to see when you're talking about for a championship, for the belt, because only one person can wear it. So I feel like only one person should be able to lose it, and only one person should have the opportunity to get it, and that's the person who has eliminated everybody else for that opportunity. Triple threat matches for number one contenders, all right, cool. Fatal four-way matches for number one contenders, cool. But I feel like a triple threat for a title is ultimately a little bit cheaper than a singles competition for a title. And that's just me.
Yeah. And so moving right along, we had, of course, a segment that we both caught, which was Sami Zayn and the Usos pleading with Seth Rollins to be the fifth member for War Games. What do you think happens? I mean, Braun Breaker is already committed to this thing, so, or I'm sorry, not Braun Breaker, but
Bronson Reed.
Yeah, and he mentioned he is half Samoan, so apparently he has an affiliation to the bloodline as well.
Well, wait a minute. What does him being half Samoan make him have affiliation to the bloodline?
That was something he had said. I'm just repeating the news.
All right. All right. Yeah, you worried about what I'm saying? You about to be in trouble. All types of organizations gonna be looking at you. But anyway, Seth Rollins will be there. Seth Rollins will be there with his wandering eye watching the back of Roman Reigns. I don't know what it will mean for Roman Reigns and the OTC to get the victory or how that'll play out. But I think it will play out that way. The original chief will get the victory, or his team will get the victory, not without some side eyes and second glances at the team itself en route to getting that done. But Seth Rollins not wanting a team with Roman. Man, I see implications of that where you can lead that into a match. January, Royal Rumble. Number one contender for the Universal titles on the line. Roman versus Seth.
Again, where I'll give additional credit, I think it's a little overkill. I think Seth ultimately joins, but at the end of the day, I'll kind of close it out with saying I'm glad it gives Bronson Reed a little bit more of the spotlight. It's more centered around him. And then what we had, of course, was the War Raiders beating Carlito and Dirty Dom, but then after the match, of course, the champions came out and attacked them. And so anything from
this is why professional wrestling is professional wrestling. Ain't no way the three versions of hell them dudes of that size and stature get attacked blindsided by those dudes of that size and stature and be put on the ground. But I'm a fan of professional wrestling, so it makes sense. It's live action comic books, a series of trust falls. I get all of it. What I like is the War Raiders to get those straps, because it looks like as a tag team, they bring value as champions to the tag team division. I want Finn Balor back in a singles competition. Finn Balor and what's my name, Kaiser?
Mm-hmm.
They would do well for a United States Championship or Intercontinental Championship match. I want to see that. I think we deserve it, and I think that the War Raiders deserve to return another round, as champions, to see what it's like to carry a division or to carry part of the company or to carry part of the roster by representing yourself as a champion and seeing how that works out, being able to draw, and I'm shooting on this fully, being able to draw, being important in that capacity for the roster. I like for them to give it a shot. And if they're doing so, Finn Balor breaks free and goes on his own thing, I'm here for it. That's all I got to say about that.
All right. And so what we'll do is take our last break. We'll jump into second to last here. We'll conclude tonight's Raw with just the what's announced for next week, and then dive immediately into the Name That Superstar segment. Stay tuned.
It's Kay Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report. I'm Homie Diallo, and you watching the Shop Report.
My name's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Oh, you're Jay Knight, you're watching the Shop Report.
Max McKee, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Hi, I'm Mars Manworks from Mercury Stadium, and you're watching the Shock Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doug Flynn of the New York Mets. Well, a few other teams, of course, too. And you're watching the Shop Report.
I'm Matt Ramos, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? I'm Rajay Davis, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? This is Nelson Figueroa, former Major League pitcher with a lot of teams. You're about to listen to the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Howard Johnson. You're watching the Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Heath Bell from the New York Mets, and you're listening to the Shop Report podcast. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Josh Tolley, former catcher of the New York Mets, and you're watching the Shop Report.
This is Edgardo Alfonso for the Mets, and you're listening to Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Hello, this is Mike Hampton, and you're watching Shop Report.
All right, D Gully, we are back. And so again, formally announced for War Games is
the entire women's roster in a War Games match for Survivor Series. All right.
Yep. And then also announced for next week an advantage match.
What does that mean? What the hell does that mean? What advantage? It's 5-on-5.
I'm not sure. But D Gully, who you got in the advantage match and why?
Nia Jax.
All right. And then also announced
said,
for next week is the New Day versus Otis and Tozawa.
Whoa. The New Day continued to break down.
They're going to lose to Otis?
Yeah.
Milo and Otis?
Yeah.
The dog? The pug?
Yeah. No.
Fair enough. And so with that being said, that concludes this evening's Raw. We will be rejoining you momentarily while I get the final segment of the evening, which is not just one, but two. Name That Superstar. And these are a little bit once a softball, but it's not what they were best known for. That's our caveat.
It's Kay Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report. I'm Homie Diallo, and you watching the Shop Report.
My name's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Oh, you're Jay Knight, you're watching the Shop Report.
It's Bryce McKee, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Hi, I'm Mars Man, works at Mercury Stadium, and you're watching the Shock Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doug Flynn of the New York Mets. Well, a few other teams, of course, too. And you're watching the Shop Report.
I'm Matt Ramos, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? I'm Rajay Davis, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? This is Nelson Figueroa, former Major League pitcher with a lot of teams. You're about to listen to the Shop Report. Hey, this is Howard Johnson. You're watching the Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Heath Bell from the New York Mets, and you're listening to the Shop Report podcast. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Josh Tolley, former catcher of the New York Mets, and you're watching the Shop Report.
This is Edgardo Alfonso for the Mets, and you're listening to Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Hello, this is Mike Hampton, and you're watching Shop Report.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we are entering our final segment of the night.
Yes.
And D Gully, the caveat, as I alluded to for tonight's Name That Superstar,
All right.
is not what these guys were best known as. It's something else.
Bring him up.
All right. So our first is this gentleman here. And this, you brought up 95, 96, coincidentally.
Scott Norton.
Nope.
Hugh Morris. No, that can't be Hugh Morris.
Now, this was a gimmick that was originally designed for Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler to be able to have some dad jokes.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy? Who the hell?
And this individual,
okay, go ahead,
had left the company in around 95 and returned in late 96. And that's when he got this makeover. And the last TV appearance was in the SummerSlam Bikini Beach Off. Bikini Beach Blast Off, which was the SummerSlam pre-show. But again, this individual also was one half of one legendary tag team that still has ties to the company today. D Gully, name that superstar.
All right. Okay. So it's not the Bushwhackers. And it is not. He ain't passed away?
Yes, he did. Unfortunately, yes.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart?
Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. D. Gully.
No, that's why I went Scott Norton first. I'm like, nah, that's it. That was I went Scott Norton because I'm like, wait a minute, Jim Neidhart died, but this image looks so recent. Yeah, that's Jim the Anvil, right? I used to want to have a long beard like this.
That's right.
So wait a minute.
D. Gully, we're not talking about Jim the Anvil Neidhart, who was one half of the legendary tag team, the Hart Foundation, which of course should have been the dead giveaway because of course his partner being Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah.
With Bret's singles success and WWF's push, the tag team was no more. And he, of course, left the company in early 1996, but just a handful of months later, he returned But
Right.
D. Gully, what did Jim the Anvil Neidhart return as that meant to serve as simply a joke for Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler at commentary? And this gimmick would only last until SummerSlam.
He would do he wouldn't do commentary. What was that?
No, he was wrestling.
I know they had the New Heart Foundation.
But the question is, who could he be?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank on that one. You got to help me with that one.
I love it because I actually gave you the answer. The gimmick was none other than who?
You know what? You know what?
So he was back in July as one of the dumbest mass heels of all time. Who was billed from who knows where. And it almost seemed like some kind of punishment for him leaving the company. The gimmick was designed for commentators Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler to make who's on first style jokes during the match. So innovative and fresh.
Right.
And whose last TV appearance was the 1996 SummerSlam pre-show Bikini Beach Blast-Off.
All right. Okay. Yeah, when you look at that physique, you can instantly tell who he is. But with that mask on, and in the mid-90s, you don't have enough stock footage yourself to be able to analyze that, right? To be able to look closely and figure out that that's Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Right. And so we do have one more for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Now, this one's going to be a little bit more difficult, I believe. So, D. Gully, this individual began his career in the mid-70s as a teenager. He ultimately was a part of also another trailblazing tag team.
Okay.
Now, this tag team was a part of WWF in the mid-80s, but to the surprise of none, it was Vince McMahon who suggested they split up. By 1996, they of course were no more, and then this is where the return at none other than In Your House, Buried Alive, this individual would appear and ultimately have a huge impact with a particular match that I can shed some light on or keep you in the dark.
Shed some light on it.
It was inclusive of Mankind.
It was
and
part
this
of
gimmick only lasted 10 weeks.
This isn't the
He has a name that sounds very familiar to a Motown legend.
wait.
Or the godfather of Motown music.
This isn't this isn't fake Undertaker, is it? No.
It is not, but he actually attacked the Undertaker.
Man, this is a difficult one. I feel like I'm gonna know him instantly. Hold on. All right, man. Nah, you gonna have to get that. Go ahead. Tell me.
All right. So just the final kind of hint to tie it all together was, again, he returned on October 20th, 1996 at In Your House, Buried Alive as this gimmick. He attacked the Undertaker during the match against Mankind, and they both began to bury the Undertaker in the grave by the entrance ramp.
Man, I don't know. I'm just drawing a complete blank. Who is it?
So this is Terry Gordy, again, began his wrestling career in age 14 in 1975. By 79, Gordy and Michael Hayes formed one of the most trailblazing teams of all time, known as the Fabulous Freebirds.
Yeah. Hey. Okay.
The
All right.
Freebirds spent, of course, a cup of tea in WWF in the mid-'80s.
Yeah.
And then they left after Vince suggested they split up. But by 96, of course, they ultimately were no more. Gordy returned to that October 20th, 1996 In Your House, Buried Alive as the Executioner.
Yes. All of okay.
And of course, he and Mankind were infamously the ones who were attempting to bury the Undertaker in that Buried Alive match.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the gimmick itself looks like he's holding a prototype of the Bicracky. And nevertheless, did only lasted 10 weeks.
I went 50% off at Halloween City, or Halloween Town, or whatever it's called.
So there you have it, everybody. The Executioner, Terry Gordy. And so, all right, D. Gully, any final thoughts from you as we conclude tonight's segments?
I'm big on the continuing of Bray Wyatt's essence through Bo Dallas. Like I said, I just want to see it. I want to see it show up in the ring with matches. We talked about the Raw image for WWE Raw going to Netflix, absent our Universal Champion, but including our World Heavyweight Champion, our WWE Champion, rather. That to me is noteworthy. I'd like to figure out what they're going to do on that. I want AEW to continue to find ways to encourage growth, so that way we do have a counter and a balance. Me and Ricochet gonna have a conversation about this trade that everybody that supports him took. And yeah, we like to talk about. Like, I would love to get him in on an interview if he got some time. Please talk to us. Holler at your boy. Let us know what's going on. But that being said, just looking forward to next Monday, finding more about, more in the world of professional wrestling, more to discuss, more to talk about, more opinions, more stuff to bring them. I'm about probably have some questions for you next week. Remember, Wednesday, we on 9 p.m. side for the Shop Report. That's where we'll discuss everything sports, including what's happened, recapping the week that was of the NFL and the week that will be of the NFL, in amongst other things, college football, baseball, basketball, whatever happens. Saturday, right? That's when we'll get together and we'll do Shop Report After Dark.
You got it.
Give you our picks, start, sit, trade, watch the waiver wire. Tell us how you did. Tell us where we went good or bad with your picks. So that way you have your whole sports appetite satisfied, right? Thank you to everybody on all of our sports, all our channels, our Twitch, What You Mean Gully, YouTube and What You Mean Gully, the Shop Report on Facebook, on YouTube. We brought to you by StreamYard. It's to buy Cracky for their product, and we glad to give a good word, and also ADG's cookies. We'll find them online and whatnot. But our fans, our skeptic. Hold on, my bad, Mike. I hit the mic. Thanks to our fans and our skeptics. Appreciate your comments and whatnot. Double J, you got any final thoughts? Oh yeah,
get the merch.
Yeah,
on the Facebook and Instagram page at the Shop Report. Of course, we return on Wednesday with Barbershop Jay, so I get to take a back seat and be production Jay. And then, of course, as Gully pointed out, Saturday, it's all fantasy football. Double J, 2-0 again on the week. Held on and overcame a disastrous Thursday. For those that were part of Saturday's show, you saw I was in shambles. So
absolutely,
that is why you don't quit. It is about you. Look, you can lose on Thursday, you got to win on Monday. So let's do that. In the meantime, we appreciate all of you guys tuning in across the board. I mean, there are hundreds of you. We greatly appreciate that. And of course, keep the comments. Be a part of the conversation. We definitely are human, not above the people of the people. So if you really want to know what's going on,
come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome.
Holla.